It started with whispers, then spiraled into a full-blown media storm. Jasmine, the sweetheart-turned-siren of reality TV fame, has just dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. After months of public silence following her messy separation from longtime partner Andre, the internet was sent into overdrive when court documents leaked last night revealing Jasmine's shocking demand, a jaw-dropping $2 million in alimony. Yes, you heard that right too, $1 million. Fans, friends, and even close family members are scrambling to make sense of it all. And the reactions are nothing short of explosive. Was it love or was it always about the money? Insiders say Jasmine played the long game, crafting the perfect image of a supportive partner while allegedly keeping a secret diary of Andre's earnings, investments, and private assets. Now, with her legal team marching into court like an army of fire-breathing dragons, she's demanding her piece of the empire. But the real twist? She's not asking for custody, not asking for the house, just cold, hard cash. That's it, and fans are furious. He loved her. He built her. One source close to Andre told reporters, barely holding back tears. And now she's tossing it all away for a check. But Jasmine isn't backing down. In a now-deleted Instagram story, posted at 2 a.m., she wrote, "Don't ever let a man make you feel guilty for knowing your worth. I earned every dime." So what really went down behind the scenes of this once picture-perfect romance? Why now, and is this just the beginning of Jasmine's legal revenge tour? Grab your tea because the drama's just getting started. It all began quietly, too quietly, some would say. After years of projecting the image of the perfect couple, Jasmine and Andre's world cracked in silence. No fiery Instagram live rants, no dramatic unfollowing spree, just disappearance. Jasmine hadn't been seen on Andre's feed in over 4 months, and fans had started asking questions. Are they still together? Why is she always traveling alone now? But the answers never came until TMZ dropped the bomb. Jasmine had filed for alimony, and not just any alimony, $2 million straight up, with no mention of joint assets. No custody battle, and no sign of remorse. Just a cool, calculated demand that sent shockwaves through their fanbase and lit social media on fire. For years, Jasmine had played the devoted fiancé, always in Andre's corner at red carpet events, praising his business wins, cooking his meals on live streams, but now fans were asking, was it all a performance? According to sources close to Andre, the betrayal cut deep. He's destroyed, one friend confided, speaking under condition of anonymity. This wasn't just about love for him, he gave her everything, everything. And now she's throwing him under the bus for a payout. The details that emerged next only added gasoline to the blaze. Jasmine's legal filing included itemized documentation of Andre's income streams, his investments, brand deals, and even offshore holdings, which shocked even his inner circle. How did she know all this? She was taking notes, a former assistant claimed. For years, every time Andre mentioned a new project, she'd write it down. I thought it was cute, like she was proud of him. But now, it feels creepy. Creepy turned sinister when Andre's legal team responded with counterclaims, alleging that Jasmine had secretly recorded conversations and accessed private accounts under the guise of shared finances. Meanwhile, Jasmine maintained her stance. This is what I'm owed, she told a close friend, who later leaked the audio. He promised me a life. I gave him 7 years. 7 years of my youth, my energy, my love. You think I'm walking away with nothing? Please. As the court date loomed, both camps began circling wagons. Andre retreated to his Miami mansion, declining interviews, wiping joint photos off his socials, and unfollowing Jasmine's entire family. Jasmine, however, leaned into the drama. She began dropping cryptic captions. Some people confuse loyalty with servitude, and being quiet doesn't mean being weak, and appearing at influencer events, solo. Head held high, styled to kill. Fans were divided. Some accused her of being a gold digger, pointing to the fact that she had no independent income, no active brand, and had mostly lived off Andre's lifestyle for years. Others defended her, arguing that emotional labor, time, and support were valid forms of contribution in a relationship. But no matter which side people took, one thing was certain. Everyone was watching. Then came the twist no one expected. A leaked video, poorly filmed but damning, showed Jasmine in a heated argument with her sister, Zara. In it, Jasmine screams, "He never loved me, he just loved what I did for him. So I'm taking what I deserve." Zara, clearly caught off guard, responds, "Deserve. Jazz, this isn't revenge court. You're out for blood." The video went viral overnight. Jasmine exposed. Trended worldwide, with millions watching and rewatching the clip, dissecting every word, every facial expression. She admitted it's revenge, one user tweeted. "This isn't justice, it's a shakedown." But Jasmine refused to back down. The very next day, she posted a highly stylized photo of herself in a designer suit, standing outside the courthouse with the caption, "A woman who demands her worth is always labeled the villain." The comment section exploded. Andre's fans flooded the post with snake emojis and calls for accountability. Meanwhile, Jasmine's supporters hailed her as a modern-day icon in the face of financial feminism. It wasn't just a breakup anymore, it was a war. And both sides were playing to win. Behind the scenes, Andre's team scrambled to do damage control. Rumors began swirling that he was considering settling just to avoid further media scrutiny. "It's not about the money," one friend told a gossip blog. "He has it, but it's the principle." She's dragging his name through the mud, and every brand he's tied to is watching this play out. Jasmine, for her part, stayed silent on the settlement rumors, but insiders claimed she wanted the case to go public. She wants the trial, a source close to her revealed. She wants to sit on that stand, look him in the eye, and remind him that you can't use someone up and throw them away. Then came the second bombshell. A tell-all interview with Jasmine's former best friend, Lila, aired on a late-night gossip show, and it flipped the narrative on its head. "She planned this," Lila said bluntly. "From the start. I love her. I do. But Jasmine always said, if this ever goes south, I'll walk away with something real." And she wasn't talking about memories. According to Lila, Jasmine had been building her case for years, saving receipts, cataloging gifts, even keeping backup copies of Andre's emails. She was smart, strategic, and cold. Fans were reeling. The idea that Jasmine had orchestrated the relationship's endgame from the start shook even her most loyal defenders. But Jasmine clapped back with a surprise post. A photo of herself and Lila from 2 years ago, crossed out in red, with the caption, "Bitter B***, cheese don't age well." The drama intensified. Andre's family entered the fray, with his mother, who had always remained silent during the couple's ups and downs, releasing a public statement. "Jasmine was never part of our family," she wrote. "She played a role, but we saw through it. Now the world sees it too." Jasmine's mother responded within hours, blasting Andre's mother for emotional abuse and claiming that Jasmine suffered in silence for years. It was an all-out war, to families, to narratives, and millions of fans caught in the middle. But the biggest twist was still to come, and no one was ready for it. The courtroom was packed. Not with just lawyers and media, but with drama-hungry fans who had lined up at 5 a.m. just to catch a glimpse of Jasmine walking in, power-heeled and flanked by her legal team like a queen heading into battle. Cameras clicked, reporters screamed questions, and Jasmine ever one to miss a turned ever so slightly and gave a smirk. That was the moment the hashtag $1,000,000 smirk started trending. But while the internet had its fun, inside that courthouse, things were deadly serious. Andre had finally broken his silence. His team filed a brutal 78-page response accusing Jasmine of financial manipulation, digital spying, and premeditated emotional sabotage. He wasn't going to settle, he was going to fight. And he came armed with receipts. The courtroom atmosphere was thick with tension as Andre took the stand. The usually reserved entrepreneur looked visibly hurt but composed. "I loved her," he said, voice cracking only slightly. "I built a home for her. I thought we were building a life together. But looking back, I think I was just building her case." The gallery gasped. Jasmine's expression didn't change. She stared forward, icy and unmoved, until it was her turn to respond. "I gave him the best years of my life," she said, her voice steady but her eyes brimming. "I was there when he had nothing. I supported his dreams while mine sat on the back burner. I'm not asking for sympathy, I'm asking for fairness." But the real chaos began when the evidence came out. Andre's team presented surveillance, screenshots showing Jasmine accessing encrypted folders, a series of anonymous tip emails traced back to her IP address, and even a chilling audio recording where Jasmine is allegedly heard saying, "He'll never see it coming. He thinks I'm dumb, but I'll get what's mine." The courtroom went silent. Jasmine's lawyers immediately objected, calling the evidence inconclusive and illegally obtained. But the damage was done. Fans online exploded. "She's been plotting this the whole time. No way, this was just about love. Others defended her, pointing out that none of the evidence proved she hadn't also suffered in the relationship. So what if she played smart? One TikTok user said, "Men do it all the time." As day 2 of the hearing rolled in, another twist emerged: Jasmine's secret prenup. For years, the public believed the couple never signed one, but turns out, they had. And in a shocking loophole, the prenup didn't cover Andre's most recent tech venture, the one that turned him from millionaire to multimillionaire. Jasmine's lawyers argued that since the company launched 2 years after the prenup, she had legal grounds to claim a portion of its profits, or at least demand a payout proportional to her contribution during that time. She helped name the app, her lawyer argued. She was featured in launch promos. Her influence brought in sponsors. Andre rolled his eyes in court, clearly livid. She showed up to one launch party and took selfies. That's not contribution, that's clout chasing. Outside the courtroom, things were just as messy. Jasmine's ex-fling, model turned influencer, Cairo, posted a now-deleted story showing them cuddling just 3 weeks after the split. Upgrade. The caption read, "Chaos ensued. Fans lost their minds." Was she cheating the whole time? Had she emotionally checked out way before the court drama even began? Andre's cousin posted, "Now it all makes sense," while Jasmine cryptically replied on her story, "Let the bitter drown in their own tea." But things took a darker turn when Cairo revealed in an interview that Jasmine had asked him to pretend they met recently and stay quiet until the settlement hit. The implication: Jasmine was controlling the media timeline, spinning every narrative to her benefit. At this point, even Jasmine's supporters were growing conflicted. Twitter debates turned savage. Is she a mastermind or a manipulator? Was she ever in love or just calculating from day one? Some of her former fan pages began going private or rebranding, distancing themselves from the toxic circus. Jasmine didn't flinch. She leaned into the villain narrative, posting an image of herself wearing a gold crown with the caption, "You call it manipulation. I call it survival." Then, yet another player entered the scene: Andre's former assistant, Nadia, quiet, loyal, and always in the background, until now. Nadia gave an exclusive sit-down interview, revealing that she'd witnessed Jasmine belittling Andre, pressuring him into business decisions, and even mocking his anxiety behind his back. "She wasn't sweet," Nadia said. "She was strategic. I tried to warn him, but he was too in love." When asked why she was coming forward now, Nadia said, "Because people need to know who Jasmine really is. This isn't about money. This is about control." Jasmine's attorney fired back instantly, accusing Nadia of being a disgruntled ex-employee looking for her 15 minutes, but the public was already split. In the days leading up to the final hearing, the energy turned frantic. Paparazzi staked out both Jasmine and Andre's homes. Talk shows ran non-stop coverage. Fans began hosting live streams just to dissect every update. Even celebrity influencers began weighing in some siding with Andre, calling Jasmine's actions calculated and cold, while others praised her for not backing down in a man's world. But the wildest moment came when a mystery package was delivered to the courtroom. On day 4 inside was a handwritten journal allegedly belonging to Jasmine. Pages of raw, messy thoughts, including one particularly damning entry: "If I can't have the fairy tale, I'll take the fortune." Andre's lawyers jumped on it. Jasmine's team denied its authenticity. It was chaos. A relationship that once seemed like the stuff of influencer dreams had unraveled into a high-stakes courtroom chess match. And just when it seemed like we'd reached the final chapter, Jasmine stood up during cross-examination and dropped one last bombshell: "I have proof that Andre was unfaithful, multiple times, and I stayed quiet until now." Audible gasps rang through the courtroom. Andre's jaw clenched. His lawyers looked blindsided. The judge called for recess. And just like that, everything changed. The courtroom, once dominated by financial disputes and whispered calculations, suddenly turned into a battlefield of personal betrayals. Jasmine's declaration about Andre's alleged infidelity wasn't just dramatic, it was nuclear. As she stood there, unwavering under the cross-examination spotlight, her eyes locked onto Andre's, her voice calm yet venom-laced, the room held its breath. "I stayed through all the cheating, the late-night texts, the club photos I was tagged in by accident. The lies," she said. "I didn't go public, I didn't blow up our life, I stayed. And now that I'm asking for compensation for years of loyalty, I'm being painted as the gold digger." Andre's attorney sprang into action, objecting furiously, but the judge allowed it for now. The court needed clarity. Jasmine's team said they had screenshots, timestamps, even an email from one of Andre's other women, as Jasmine put it, who reached out to her anonymously. The courtroom gasped. Was this yet another twist in Jasmine's calculated strategy, or had Andre underestimated just how much dirt Jasmine had been quietly collecting? Andre's reaction told its own story. He didn't speak, but the look on his face was telling equal parts rage and panic. He glanced at his attorneys, who immediately began scribbling notes. Outside, the internet exploded. Jasmine knew he was cheating. Now it's starting to make sense. Suddenly, the narrative began shifting again. People who had labeled her a manipulator were now calling her a survivor. She gave him grace and he gave her betrayal, tweeted one fan. $2 million. Sounds like a discount. Others still weren't buying it, arguing that even if Andre cheated, it didn't justify what they now called a legal ambush. As screenshots began leaking to gossip blogs, some of which matched Jasmine's timeline, public opinion fractured again. Comment sections lit up with warzone debates, Team Jasmine versus Team Andre. But the betrayal didn't stop there. In a shocking reveal, Jasmine introduced a character no one expected: her private therapist. Not directly, of course, but through certified documentation that detailed her mental health journey during her relationship with Andre. The records described episodes of anxiety, panic attacks, and feelings of worthlessness, allegedly triggered by the emotional toll of the relationship. Jasmine's lawyer stated clearly, "This isn't just about money. This is about emotional labor, mental health, and a woman who was made to feel like an accessory to a man's success." Andre's side immediately fought back, calling the medical records a PR stunt and accusing Jasmine of weaponizing therapy. Behind closed doors, things weren't going any smoother. Sources inside Andre's inner circle said he had begun spiraling, refusing interviews, canceling brand deals, and going off-grid digitally. "He's not just angry, he's broken," a friend revealed. He thought she loved him, and now it feels like every moment was a setup. Meanwhile, Jasmine seemed to be rising from the ashes. She was spotted at a charity gala in a stunning black gown, giving a speech about finding strength through adversity. Cameras caught her laughing with A-list celebrities, a stark contrast from the woman seen crying on courtroom benches just days earlier. One tabloid screamed, "From courtroom to Queen, Jasmine's comeback begins." But just when it seemed like Jasmine was untouchable, something that looked a lot like it made an entrance. A mysterious voice memo surfaced online. The grainy audio, posted anonymously, appeared to show Jasmine coaching someone on how to turn heartbreak into headlines. Her voice, calm, cold, commanding, said, "The more tragic you look, the more power you get. People love a crying woman with a crown." The internet imploded. Was this her real voice? Was this leaked on purpose? Or was someone trying to sabotage her now that she was winning public favor? Jasmine denied it was her. Her team claimed deepfake technology, but audio experts couldn't confirm either way, and the court refused to admit it as evidence. Still, the damage was done. Major media outlets ran segments titled "Jasmine, Mastermind," or social media went into overdrive. Fans of Jasmine were furious. How dare he question that? She doesn't owe him her trauma. Meanwhile, Andre's supporters felt vindicated. He stayed quiet while she painted him as the devil. This is his truth. Hashtags like #justice for Andre and #she lied trended alongside #still with Jasmine. Even therapists and media personalities began weighing in, analyzing their dynamic like it was a sociology thesis. Podcasts dissected every word. YouTube channels dropped hour-long reactions. Jasmine, for once, didn't respond immediately, until she did. With one post. One image. A photo of a medical record. Date-stamped her name. The words "confirmed miscarriage" circled in red. Caption: "Believe women, even when it's inconvenient." The internet lost its mind. It was the clapback, heard across the globe. Public sentiment once again began swinging in Jasmine's favor. Even celebrities who had previously sided with Andre began quietly deleting their tweets. Andre's team scrambled to release a statement, but the damage was done. Jasmine's post wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a sledgehammer, but it also came with a price. Andre's lawyers issued a cease and desist letter, claiming Jasmine violated court confidentiality by sharing personal medical documentation. Jasmine's team responded by saying her body, her choice, and that defending her truth was not a legal violation but a moral necessity. The drama, it seemed, would never end. But in the midst of the public crossfire, something unexpected happened. Jasmine disappeared. No posts, no stories, no appearances. For a full 2 weeks, her digital presence went dark. Paparazzi caught no glimpses. Gossip sites were starved. Fans speculated everything from she's in Italy finding peace to she's planning her next media bomb. But it wasn't until her team released a statement on day 15 that the truth emerged. Jasmine had checked herself into a wellness retreat in Arizona. The press release was brief and striking. After months of emotional warfare, public scrutiny, and personal attacks, Jasmine is taking a step back to heal. This is not about winning. This is about surviving. For the first time in months, the headlines turned sympathetic. The girl who'd once been accused of orchestrating a $2 million scheme was now being seen as a woman broken by fame, grief, and public pressure. Andre, meanwhile, leaned fully into his redemption arc. He launched a podcast, Heartbroken, but Hustling, where he discussed male vulnerability, toxic relationships, and the cost of silence. The first episode, How I Survived Jasmine. Tasteless or therapeutic? Depends who you ask. Critics called it a rebrand cloaked in supporters praised him for starting conversations men are too scared to have. Despite their distance, the connection between Jasmine and Andre lingered. Not romantically, those bridges were torched, but publicly, emotionally, their stories were now entwined forever. A digital love tragedy preserved in hashtags and headlines. 6 months later, Jasmine re-emerged, healthier, calmer. She walked the red carpet at a women's empowerment event in LA, wearing a silver gown that shimmered under the flashbulbs. When asked about Andre, she didn't dodge the question. He was part of my story, she said. Not the ending, not the villain, just part of the journey. And then came her final mic drop moment. She announced a book deal. Title, Villain. In a Crown, My Side of the Story. Within 24 hours, it hit #1 in pre-orders. The cover showed Jasmine on a throne, crown askew, lipstick smudged, eyes defiant. The message was clear. She wasn't hiding anymore, and she wasn't apologizing. As for Andre, he reportedly declined a counterbook deal but was rumored to be in talks for a docuseries based on his experience. I'm done with revenge, he told a fan during a Q&A live stream. I just want closure. And maybe a little peace. In the end, the $2 million battle wasn't just about money. It was about control, legacy, pain, and the cost of turning private heartbreak into public theater. And the fans, well, they're still watching, still debating, still choosing sides. Because in the world of love and lawsuits, nobody walks away clean. And there you have it, the love story turned legal battlefield that captivated millions, shattered illusions, and forever changed how we look at public relationships. What started as a fairy tale between Jasmine and Andre unraveled into one of the most polarizing, emotionally charged courtroom dramas in pop culture history. From alleged manipulation and secret recordings to accusations of betrayal and emotional warfare, the trial was more than just a breakup, it was a psychological war fought in public. With every twist dissected in real time by a divided and emotionally invested audience. Jasmine walked away with $1.2 million, but at what cost? Andre may have reclaimed his voice, but can you ever really recover when your heartbreak becomes content? The truth, no one left this untouched. Not Andre, not Jasmine, not their families. Not even the fans, the bystanders, the gossip-fueled spectators who watched every leaked DM, every TikTok breakdown, every scandalous twist like it was scripted television. But that's what makes stories like this so addictive. They remind us that behind every filtered selfie and curated couple's photo lies a messy, complicated, often heartbreaking reality. And sometimes, the real drama doesn't start when love begins, it starts when it ends. So now it's your turn. What do you think really happened? Was Jasmine a cold-hearted mastermind, or a woman finally demanding her worth? Was Andre a genuine victim or simply outplayed at his own game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading everything. Don't forget to like this video if you were glued to every jaw-dropping moment. Subscribe for more explosive exposes, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a scandal. Trust us, this won't be the last. Because in this world of fame, fortune, and fallout, the tea never stays cold for long. Until next time, stay dramatic, and stay watching.